we hear all this negativity about the economy. Many people are worried about mortgage rates and interest rates, but you're so bullish, and I'm wondering what is
I'm
this?
rational. I'm not bullish. I mean, this is the radical movement of common sense. Look, when our parents were alive trying to get a mortgage, interest rates were in the teens. If you're trying to get a mortgage when Carter was president or whatever, or after that, it was, you might be looking at a 12%, 15%, 18% interest rate. A 5% interest rate, 6. And so when people say, well, John, we had 1% and 2%. It was free money. It was capitalism on crack. The government, and where did that come from? The 2008 pandemic, which we saw come showdown right here in the stock exchange, where the economy froze up, imploded. Rightly so, because of the mortgage crisis was bad capitalism, the way it was done. And the government had to lower interest rates to dang near zero and put a lot of stimulus in. They didn't want to stop the party because every time they did it, the Wall Street would say, no, 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 no. The pandemic was actually, I say this respectfully, those who lost a life in the pandemic was the crisis big enough, incredible enough for interest rates, the Fed, to raise interest rates because they knew they had to cool off hot money. You had all this stimulus money pouring into the economy. We never had a stimulus bill in the trillions. No government in the world has ever had a stimulus with a T in front of it. And so we had almost 10 trillion. And so you had to raise interest rates to cool that down, but they've only raised it to 5. What I'm amazed with is that we're still standing. We're still standing, we're doing well. Now we're arguing over, is inflation 3% or 4%, and is our interest rate 5 and 6%? Not, are we still here?
So where do you stand in this debate with the Fed? There are some people who say the economy is already slowing. They need to loosen up a bit. There are other people who are saying, hey, they need to just stay where they are right now and wait a couple more months and see what happens. Especially since you're in housing.
I'm in multiple industries.
What is your sense of where interest rates should be going and how fast should we get there?
So personally, I would love to see interest rates down a couple basis points. But professionally and from an American perspective, I think Powell needs to keep some vigilance and maybe wait till later in the year. And I think we're going to see one tick down. I don't think interest rates are going to go up. I think we're going to see one tick down before the end of the year. I think he's looking at the long term and saying, what do I want my legacy to say? And you don't want to be wrong about this. There's 2 things you don't want to be wrong around. You don't want to be wrong about how much money to pour on a burning fire in the pandemic. So was there too much stimulus? Yes, about $1.5 trillion more than we needed. But you don't want to be wrong about it. So a bipartisan Congress poured too much water on the fire to make sure it was out. But where's the pandemic manual? I mean, where do you pull that one out of the shelf from 125-year-old pandemic, global economy? We pull that off. What do we do? So it was, it was an overcorrection. Is he being cautious now? Yes, but you don't want to get this wrong. He gets this wrong because where's the lighthouse for the world? It's not China. It's not Russia. It's not France or Germany. It's America. So America is the biggest, strongest, most vigilant and resilient economy in the world, and we want to keep it that way, healthy. And I think that if the tax on that is he keeps interest rates higher than we like, longer than we'd like, to make sure the inflation cools down. And by the way, for people who grew up in areas where you and I grew up, those tabletop economics, gas, food, whatever, whatever you can do to get that under control so the prices don't keep spiraling, I think
how
it's
about
admirable.
Car insurance? That's going through the roof.
Hello, car notes. I mean, car notes are like house notes these days.